special teams. Special teams is
Yeah, that's like super big. Like we always talk about him and like that. We just work harder every time we hear about it. So we looking something different this year.
How is Bladen looking? Fight. I mean,
Yeah,
how y'all feel
Bladen
about
looking
that?
really good. He's looking super good.
Now
Best QB in the state.
go ahead.
Best quarterback in the state right now.
Now you're a part of a very deep wide receiver core. I mean, Cattell, Satania, Robinson. I mean, the list just goes on and on. That's pretty much, in my opinion, Jalen, the strength of this team. I mean, as far as the leadership role, how does that group embrace that?
Can you say that again? I couldn't hear you.
As far as the leadership role coming from that very deep wide receiver core, how do you guys embrace that, being pretty much kind of the feature on Friday nights?
Really, we know that we're like a big part of this team. So we go out there every day, we ball out, and we got so many threats. So like I feel like every time somebody got to be open. So
looking at this team defensively, the Conway Wampus Cats, what do you guys have to do tonight, Jalen, here at Harmon Field to get the season opening win?
the O-line got to get a push, and we got to run the ball because the run game's going to always set up the pass game. So I said we got to run the ball.
Large senior group, 40-plus seniors, I believe. I mean, how important is that? I mean, you guys were basically that young team last year that went up against a very old Conway team. I mean, with the roles being reversed, how important do you think that's going to be not only tonight, but as the season gets deeper and deeper?
Yeah, I think that's very important because, as you said, last year we were a super young team, but now it's really all seniors now, so we don't got no excuses.
Coming out tonight, 7 p.m., Jalen. It's going to be all purple, white. That fight song will be playing, cheerleaders. I mean, your family members, dad, uncles. I mean, everybody's going to be there the way you grew up football. How excited are you that here in a few hours you'll get back to that?
I'm ready to get out there. I'm super excited, ready to put on a show.
Last question, and I'll let you get ready for tonight's ball game. But when people leave the stadium, Jalen, after watching the Bulldog offense under coach, offensive coordinator Jay Wilkerson, what would be the one thing they say when they leave tonight?
I think they're not gonna expect what's coming because I think Coach Wilk, he's one of my favorite coaches that I've had in
New Year. And hey, thanks for taking time out today on the pregame show.
For having me. Yep.
That was senior wide receiver Jalen Blackburn here on the pregame show. We got much more dogs to talk to. It's Fayetteville Conway season opener. We'll be back.
Lindsay & Associates started in 1973. This is our 48th year in real estate in Northwest Arkansas. We have 2 locations, one in Fayetteville and one in Rogers. And we are here to serve the people of our community. And as my dad always said, at Lindsay & Associates, we bring great neighbors together.
Media, as the Bulldogs will host in the season 2021 opener here at Harmon Field. The Conway Wampus Cats. I'm joined now on the pregame show by senior safety Owen McComb. What's up, my man?
Nothing much, Pat. It's just having a school day right now. Get my mind prepped up for this Conway game.
Owen, tonight, as you go out on that football field at Harmon Field, it'll be one of the first of the last for you. It's the first game of the year, but the last time you play that game in Fayetteville. I mean, when I tell you that, or when that's mentioned to you, I mean, what goes through your mind, this being your senior year?
Man, really the first thing I think about is just how, it seemed like yesterday I was just a freshman and I had these seniors telling me, it's going to fly by and you're going to get to your last first game. There you go. And that just how quick it goes by and how you don't really realize it, but then all of a sudden it's just kind of right in front of your face. And that's how I'm feeling right now. I'm anxious. I'm excited to get out there, but I'm like, man, who would have thought that they would have been right about that, how it just kind of creeps up on you.
Talk about that career over 3 years. I've had the privilege of watching from that press box. You started
at 8th grade is when I first started at quarterback, but I still played that's when you can still play both ways, really. So I was quarterback and safety. I enjoyed both. a lot. And then same story freshman year, quarterback and safe. Came back junior year, starting quarterback, and trying to be a leader on the team, and eventually got hurt again. But switching back over to safety really kind of opened my eyes about how I need to help the team, and how I started at quarterback, but I think I personally felt like I was a better fit at safety, and was just trying to do my best to be able to help my guys any way possible.
Owen, when you look at this secondary of you, Ryan Maxwell, Tyreek Scott, and Braylon Palmer, all seniors, I mean, if there's one word that people will say about you guys when they leave the stadium each and every Friday night, what will that word be, my man?
Oh, I think that word would be adversity. I think all four of us are, we're no strangers to adversity. Being in this program for as long as we have been, we've been through the ups and the downs together, and we all, as a position group, the safeties, we have a saying that we call up on after our practices. We say RTA, respond to adversity. So I think that'd be the best
side. Owen, what is it that you guys have to do tonight defensively to, hold home serve and get this opening win and kind of get that good taste outstarted in 2021?
Oh, well, first and foremost, we have to be disciplined. We got to be disciplined with our eyes. They love to get some motions going on, try and get your eyes in the wrong place and confuse you. So we got to be disciplined and follow our game plan that our coaches have set forth for us, and just be able to go out there and execute. Because at the end of the day, it's just who's going to be the most disciplined, who's going to execute, and then also who's going to create turnovers. And I think that's something as a defense that we're really good about, is being able to take the ball away.
Oh, and you in particular, I mean, any particular goals that you've set for yourself for this season?
Particular goals. Well, I'm also a long snapper, so one of my main goals was no bad snaps throughout the year, punt and PAT. And then probably from a free safety standpoint, one of my goals is to definitely develop my game more down in the box, and being able to solo tackles and work on my cut tackling would definitely be one of my goals.
I was very fortunate to play with a very large senior class there at Fayetteville High. Not going to tell you, I'll be dating myself, but you guys are a very large class. I believe over 40-plus seniors. Talk about, how big that is and how important you think that's going to be, as we get further and further into this season.
Oh, I think that's one of the most important things about a team, because, they always say, a coach will always tell you that it's not really their team, it's our team. And they can only do so much in coaching the team, and that as our senior squad is just so big, I think that just leaves little room for us to be able to lose any leadership. I feel like in every position group we have senior starters that are there to help everybody and will kind of lead by example. And, whenever the coaches aren't around, like, we need to be there. We need to be able to step up. And honestly, I've seen that ever since we were little, because I've been playing with these guys my whole life.
Right.
And I think we're all kind of in the same boat there, where I've known everybody in this senior class basically my entire football career. And I think that's one thing that sets us apart from past years, is just the chemistry that we have as a team. And I think we just kind of have the perfect storm going right now,
I talk about you guys quite a bit defensively, in particular you and Braylon Palmer. I feel like that's the best safety tandems, free safety and strong safety in the state. I mean, and I don't say that as being a homer. This is just what I feel. I mean, talk about, how big it is to have a guy with all that experience, has played since his sophomore year, such as Braylon has done.
Oh, Braylon was my savior last year, man. Me coming over from offense to defense, I was a little lost here and there. I felt like I had the ability, but I just needed to, flip that switch in my mind. And, Braylon's a 3-year starter. He's been doing this since he was a sophomore. Like, he had to go out and play against Bryant when he was a sophomore. Like, he has been in it at this position. And I really looked to him whenever I was first switching over and just kind of just letting him lead me in the right direction.
Right.
And now me and him are both experienced. We're both seasoned at our positions. And now it's our turn to do that with the younger guys. And I think Braylon's probably one of the best people that we have on this team to be able to lead our young guys.
Last question, and I'll let you get back and get your mind right, get ready for tonight's ball game. But when you think about tonight, Owen didn't get a chance to have a full stadium at Harmon Field at any point last year. When you guys come out on that field, it'd be all purple, white, band, cheerleaders, and kind of what you grew up watching. How special will that be?
You know, it's going to be something that I bet I think about for the rest of my life, being the first time that I get to run out on this field and, you know, hear everybody cheering and seeing the crowd packed up, looking at the student section, seeing all my friends yelling at me. You know, it's going to be probably one of the most special times of my life, to where when I'm older and I think back about it, I'll probably think about the moment that we're going to have tonight when we run out of that tunnel.
Well, my man, hey, I'm looking forward to being on the call tonight and throughout the season. Good luck, 5, and thanks for taking time out here on the pregame show.
Oh, thanks for having me, Pat.
That was safety Owen McComb, the senior. We look for big things out of him. But, hey, we got much, much more here to talk about to get you guys ready on the OTH Media Bulldog pregame show. Welcome back to the Bulldog pregame show here on OTH TV as the Bulldogs take on the Conway Wampus Cats in the 2021 season opener. I'm joined by head dog now, Coach Casey Dick. Casey, welcome to the season first show.
Appreciate it, Pat. Thank you guys for having me.
Casey, you look at this season, large senior group. Talk about that and how important will that be not only in tonight's ball game but the season going forward?
You know, I think when you look, as we kind of discussed earlier in the week, when you look at our team right now and just the makeup of it, and you look at an offensive, defensive perspective, there's a lot of senior leadership on both sides of the ball. There's almost at every position, whether you're offensive or defensive line, receivers, linebackers, safety and corner, and then obviously quarterback position also. So, I mean, there's guys at every position that are either going to start tonight or who have contributed, greatly throughout the years past. Those guys have been through a lot. There's a lot of knowledge, about how to prepare mentally and physically. They know what it takes. So we look for good things out of those kids this year for sure.
In the offseason, Casey, all you did was go out and hire probably the top offensive coordinator in Northwest Arkansas, and I mean that, in Jay Wilkerson. Talk about, what went into having Jay come and be your play caller, and, what has he, what's been his imprint since he's had a chance to, be with the team?
Just his confidence. Obviously, his knowledge speaks for itself, where he's been and, the things that he's accomplished as a coach. Obviously, he's had some great kids that he's coached along the way, but he's done a great job at multiple locations everywhere he's been, whether he's been at Broken Arrow, Jinx, Union, or any of those other locations that he's been. He's just, another thing, he's just a great guy. He's a great coach, builds relationships with the kids extremely fast. And the kids respect all those things that he does on a daily basis.
When you look at your football team, I mean, you look at the guys like Braylon Palmer and Caden Turner and Isaiah Satania. I mean, those three guys have played a lot of football, and I'm pretty sure are going to assume some of that captain role. Talk about those three and how much leadership do you, put on those guys for this team?
There's a lot, just from, like we talked a little bit earlier, just from, being assumed, pretty much just a veteran. You hear that term a lot in the NFL and in college. Those guys are veterans at the high school level. A lot of those guys that started or played a lot, contributed as sophomores, obviously started as juniors, most of them, and now, they're back for their senior year. So it's like we talked about all week. There's a lot of people in our room that know what it takes mentally and physically to go out and compete at this level.
When you break down film and you look at this Conway Wampus Cats team on the defensive side, Casey, what is it that you guys are going to have to do tonight here at Harmon Field to get the opening win?
We'll just have to, obviously there's, the time that you get with the kids before, that first game, the defense usually get about a half of a scrimmage. So there's not a whole lot of video or film that you're going to get. You're going to get some base. In the grand scheme of things, you're going to have to go out and execute and do what we know we can do offensively, be confident in that, let our kids go out, be confident in that, and then just let them go be playmakers. When the ball gets in their hands, they got to go do things that we know they can do and go do those things consistently for sure. Talking
with Casey Dickhead, Fayetteville Bulldog football coach here on the OTH Bulldog halftime pregame show. Casey, when you flip over and you look at this team offensively that Conway has, I know their quarterback is going to be out, had surgery, but they're going to start a young sophomore. Anything you guys do differently, heading into this ball game, not having that experienced guy behind center?
No, I think we just, we are who we are. We're going to go out and play how we play, and go let those guys, obviously be themselves. And we know if we put them in the situations to do that, then we'll be successful with those guys.
Who are some of those guys, Casey, that when the fans come out to Harmon Playfield or travel and watch the Bulldogs, they're going to see maybe at running back or, who are some of the new dogs we need to keep an eye out on?
At running back, it'll kind of be a running back by committee right now. We'll be a little bit young there, a little bit inexperienced, but we'll have Christian Setcher, Euro Espino. We'll have Omar Murray. We'll have some guys on defense come over. That'll be Bo Nolan, and then some packages with Manny and Caden as well.
Now, special teams, that's always a big part, because there's 3 phases in football. Who's going to be the guy that's going to man those duties for you?
I think Coach Jordan's done a good job leading up to the point to, making our special teams come along and get to where we're at. But, as far as kick return and punt return, we'll have Dylan and Isaiah.
And when they leave the stadium tonight about your Bulldogs?
Excitement.
I like that. Well, hey, good luck. I look forward to being on tonight's call in the home opener. And, hey, it's year 3. You know that word. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
That was head Bulldog Coach Casey Dick. It's about to be kickoff here at Harmon Playfield on OTH TV. It's Bulldog football. We'll be back.
Lindsay & Associates started in 1973. This is our 48th year in real estate in Northwest Arkansas. We have 2 locations, one in Fayetteville and one in Rogers. And we are here to serve the people of our community. And as my dad always said, at Lindsay & Associates, we bring great neighbors together.
And welcome to Fayetteville High School on the campus in Fayetteville, Arkansas, where the Purple Dogs open up the 2021 high school football season, taking on the Conway Wampus Cats. And I'm joined by my co-analyst, my man, year 3, bud, Anthony Hicks, former Arkansas Razorback, former Green Bay Packer, my guy. Talk to me.
Pat, it's time to get it, buddy. It's time to get it. Let's go.
Fayetteville comes into this season, Anthony, we watched on this field several months ago the way they lost to the Central Tigers. Had to be a motivation. What are you going to expect? What's the first thing you want to see from this football team from the opening tip?
Honestly, Pat, I just want to see more discipline. Fayetteville has been so inconsistent for the past 2 years, and that's not indicative of what we do here at Fayetteville. So I just want to see more consistency, more opportunities to score, and also, too, I just want to see what this defense does with the addition of Manny Powell.
As the Fayetteville Bulldogs make their way out to their respective sideline to get this thing kicked off, it's funny you mentioned Manny Powell. Defensively, quite a lot of experience. The linebacker core, we talked on our pregame all-conference show last night. Could be one of the best in the country. I know the state, but talk about those 3 guys and how important will they be for what could be a very special Purple Dog defense.
Hey, Pat, you know where we live. We live in Fayetteville. You've been here all your life. I've been here longer than I've been anywhere else in my life. He recognized when he came on a recruiting visit, this is the place to be. So Manny Powell with the addition of Caden Turner, who's always been a staple here for the last 3 years, and Isaiah Satinga, he has a great nucleus, but we really, really want to see how we put it all together. This is year 3 of Casey Dick. We need to win this year.
when you look at Conway, they beat the Purple Dogs in the season opener last year at Conway, 38-21.